There is real opportunity for you to get work as an accessibility professional right now. You just have to create your own job. What's happening is the deadline for populations of 50,000 or more to be compliant with this new ADA Title II web rule is coming up. In fact, the deadline is in April of 2026. So, what's happening is we're seeing so many public entities now rushing to be compliant. And as you know, it is very difficult to rush an accessibility project. There's just so much going on. And in fact, many public entities they won't be compliant by the new deadline. So right now they're unorganized and they're rushing, and many of these projects are going to be pushed out until 2026 even though they know the deadline is coming up. So I'm getting RFPs, requests for proposals. They're coming to me and I can see that they're very rushed, they're uninformed, and they don't know exactly what to do, and they're just throwing out all of these requirements and then seeing what the vendors, the service providers say back. So that's what's happening. And if you were to contact public entities and offer your services, and I'm not saying your accessibility services, I'm saying for project management, if you help them organize their project and understand what they need to do, help them stay away from bad values like paying for scans and overlay widgets, then you have a chance of creating your own job, and one where you're working on your own terms. And you can do this again and again with different public entities. So on the screen, I have a to-do list. And let's just name off a few things. So the ADA Title II web rule is in play. You need to know this inside and out if you're going to go ahead and try this out. Public entities are what this concerns. So when it comes to public entities, think of hospitals, public hospitals, police departments, fire departments, park management, trying to colleges, schools, anything that's any entity that is public that is covered by the ADA Title II web rule. Now, if the location of the public entity is in a population of less than 50,000, then they have until 2027, but they still need help too. It just won't be as urgent as those in populations of 50,000 or more. So contact them, let them know that you're available to help. Don't, you don't want to make this out to be a grand project to start. You always start small, but offer to help them with project management and understanding what to do. Don't start this out as like, I'm looking for a job. Just, I want to help you organize your project. And if I have a digital accessibility business course. If anybody wants to sign up for that course and they're interested in knowing what to email, I will include a lesson in the course specifically for what I'm talking about. But this is also something that you can work on and figure out. The point is that the guidance here is to keep your email to the point, say directly what you're offering, and don't make it out to be a large endeavor. Start small. Let whoever you contact understand what you're offering, and then if you can get a meeting, then that's your in, and then you can start helping them. Maybe just for a few hours. Maybe it leads to a fractional accessibility position where you're an accessibility project manager or whatever it is, right? Once you start working with him, that's when you can start opening up and potentially offering more services. But to start off with, what I'm noticing over and over again is they need help with project management. They don't understand what to do and exactly where to go from where they're at. So this is something that if you are an accessibility professional or you want to be an accessibility professional, this is a good way to start. And what's very helpful, if you're unfamiliar with project management, I've laid this all out. Okay. So you can go on my YouTube channel. I'll include a link in the description. I have a playlist on how to manage accessibility projects. Watch that playlist, watch that training. I also have an ADA Title II playlist where I take public entities step by step through the different progressions of their accessibility project and what they should be paying attention to. Again, you need to understand this new web rule inside and out. That's going to help. That's going to help with the foundational knowledge, and then you can proceed from there. And then I said I already have a business course, so the course is going to help you create your own business. But this is a way to start with your own business, and you don't need the business course to do this. This is something that you can do on your own. The business course is going to help you more when you get more formal, or when you want to start into just more than a contractor basis and really build this out into something significant. That's what the business course is for, and it can be for independent contractors too. But you don't need the business course to start this. And what I do recommend is to read Digital Accessibility and Compliance. This is my book, and this book really, it captures this whole landscape, the technical and the legal side and the practical side. Everything is captured in this book. Once you read the book, you will more understand where everything fits into place, from scans to VPATs to audits to everything. Everything. You'll understand 95% of what's going on in this space. But this is all right in front of you, and it's happening right now. This is unfolding right now. I'm seeing it over and over again with client requests. They don't know what to do. Like, it's very obvious just based on what they're asking for. They're unorganized, and they're trying to get this done really fast, and it's hard for them to work fast. The reason why it's hard for them to work fast is everyone has to get approval from everyone else. No one's exactly sure what to do. There might be one person in charge, but then they're really not in charge because someone can override them, and it takes them a long time to work through this. So if you know what you're doing and you pay attention and you're paying attention, you can easily start to pick up work as an accessibility project manager. And then from there, if you want to offer other services, you can. But accessibility project management, you don't need to have technical accessibility expertise. You really need to be aware of this landscape and everything that's involved. And you can provide real value to these public entities, because many of them are going to waste a lot of money. They're going to waste a lot of time, and they might even take the wrong path and then end up not being compliant by the deadline, and then get sued as a result of this. And what I think we will see, and we'll see how this, we'll see what the plaintiffs' lawyers decide they're going to do. But I would not be surprised at all if once the clock strikes midnight and the deadline has passed, or the deadline hits, then we're going to see lawsuits just over and over again, because it's really a license at this point, right? We've seen the ADA Title II web rule. They adopted, the DOJ adopted the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, version 2.1, conformance level AA. And so there it is. It's no longer a matter of interpretation. This is now the law. This is the ADA Title II web rule. So now what I'm expecting is for plaintiffs' lawyers to be hyper aggressive. I don't see why they wouldn't, given what they've done in the private sector. But either way, it's now, it's now something that public entities must do to be compliant with the Americans with Disabilities Act. And this is something where you can help these different public entities, and you can really create your own job doing so. And if you want to take it beyond just independent contracting, then you can create your own business out of this. It is very, very possible. And you don't have to market yourself any more than just networking, contacting these different public entities and asking if they need help. And it's not that difficult to get a hold of people who are making the decisions. And I can talk more about this in the strategic aspect of emailing in the business course. But this is something I'm noticing right now. It's right there in front of you. If you are in the United States, then I would actually gravitate towards the public entities that are near or around you. So in your state, maybe even in your city, and then go from there. But even if you're not in the United States, this is something that could potentially be available. But note that your email needs to be sharp. So you need to be able to connect with the people who are going to be reading this email. And I don't know the coordinator or the person behind every email, but the point is that someone is going to read this email. And if they need help, which many of these public entities do, then if your email resonates with them, they're going to be inclined to reply back. So this is a real opportunity. This is something that is very much topical. So many public entities are trying to rush to get this done, and they really need help with this. So I will include links to all the resources I discussed in the description. And if you have any questions, definitely leave a comment and I'll get to that comment.